I'm Courtney Lemmon. We're here today with Larry Weingarten to talk about his new video, Tax Deed Deals, which teaches people how to buy a home at a price far under what you'd ever expect to pay. And I just watched the video, Tax Deed Deals, and wow, what an amazing deal you got. 5.5 acres, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, beautiful, beautiful setting, a view of a valley, incredible deal. You will never, ever guess. $16,000, just a little over. How on earth did you find that? Tell us about this house that you found. Walk us through it.
Okay. It does take a little work to find deals like this, but this is a nice house. It's on its own well. It does have nice views. It's out in the sticks, so there's a lot of wildlife. The neighbors are nice, good part of town.
A good part of town.
It is a great part of town, actually, in the Sierra foothills.
Wow.
I've not found anything not to like about the place. It hasn't needed a whole lot of work. It's been fairly easy to get up to speed.
So when you walked in, things were intact? Everything?
I'm used to seeing places in much worse shape, but here there wasn't even a cracked pane of glass.
And what's the benefit of being on a well already?
Well, you're your own water company.
Well, there you go. After you found this place, you walked through it, you've done a little bit of work fixing it up. You said not too much, right? Now, what is this property worth?
It's worth in the $90,000 to just over $100,000 range.
Wow. That is a great deal. So this video talks a lot about how you can go about finding these deals. So tell us, Larry, why did you make this video? Why not keep all this information in your head?
I've been involved in real estate for a long time, and I've taken lots of guru courses. And gurus are nice, they give good general information, but when it gets to the nuts and bolts, to the specifics of exactly what to do and how to do it, even what to think, there's not much there. There's a lot more sizzle and not enough steak. So I've tried to put something together that gives actual nuts and bolts details of exactly what to do, exactly what rules to keep in mind, and to act on those, and how to act on those, and to actually provide resources.
Great. So this video really, I've seen the video thinking, gosh, tax deed, what is that? I don't even know. And it really provides a very clear step-by-step of how to go about finding deals like this $16,000 purchase that's worth now around $100,000. I mean, that's a big deal. So there's all kinds of ways you can go about finding a home and purchasing a home. Tell us why specifically you made a video on tax deeds.
I've bought homes all kinds of different ways, through MLS, through private sellers.
Now what's the MLS?
Oh, multiple listing service.
Okay.
There are a number of multiple listing services all around the U.S., and that's the most common way for people to find and buy real estate. It's hard to find great deals on MLS. And prices come and go. We have recessions and booms. Tax deed sales have been in operation for 200 years in the United States. In California, for instance, where I'm buying things, the opening bid is based on 5 years' worth of unpaid taxes. And that's all. Homes will come up for auction for just a few $1,000s.
That's amazing.
Where you're buying things for only a few dollars per square foot.
Wow. Which
is amazing when you consider what it costs to build and then add the price of the land and improvements.
I know there's different kinds of auctions, right? In your video you talk about that, but can you just tell us what kinds of auctions there are?
Right, there are 2 basic styles, 2 flavors. There's online auctions and in-person auctions, where you go to the Board of Supervisors chamber, generally at whatever county. Auctions are held by counties.
Okay.
Generally. And so you'll go to the county Board of Supervisors chambers and get to sit with a crowd of people you've never met and bid there, or you can go online and bid there against other people you can't see.
And what's your personal preference?
I think I actually like the online auction better because
okay.
it's much cleaner. You don't have to travel. There's less preparation, no motels.
What's the most important rule when you go into one of these in-person auctions?
For either auction, check your emotions at the door. Don't let your emotions get into the room.
Okay.
Because
You got that?
the real work in this is understanding what's a deal and what isn't. And there's a fair amount of research you've got to do to find those deals. Mm-hmm. And you're not going to get most of them. There will be emotional bidders bidding against you. So you'll get the odd one that is a great deal, but using the right technique, you can make sure that anything you bid on that you get for your price is going to be a good deal.
Tell us how you decide on your maximum bid for these auctions.
Well, I've actually put together a worksheet.
Oh, really?
Where I round up information. It's called an AllCash offer worksheet.
Where can you get that?
Well,
Where does that exist?
On my website.
On your website.
LarryWeingarten.com.
Okay.
The point of it is to round up a whole lot of information about the house and then do a lot of the research that you can do online, put all that information together, figure out what the value of the house is through comparables, various ways of doing that, and ways of double checking so you can get different vantage points to make sure you have good numbers.
So what do you need for this? Do you need any other knowledge to put this together?
You need to be able to assess how much damage a place may have suffered and what it's going to take to bring it back up.
So that may require a second opinion if they're not familiar with something like that.
Right. I mean, I come with a contractor's background.
Right.
I've been for over 30 years. But for people who don't have that, well, they can get someone to help them to participate however they get that knowledge, getting bids from contractors even.
Okay. And putting this together, though, I mean, what tools do you need? Do you need anything else besides a calculator?
Well, you want a computer to do your research, but
right.
in filling this out, a calculator and a pen would be nice. I mean, part of the point of this worksheet is to keep people out of trouble.
Okay.
Keep me out of trouble first.
Right.
But this, if you follow it closely, you're never going to overbid on a property. You'll never let emotion step in.
Great. So just leaving that emotion at the door, this worksheet helps you to know when to stop bidding. What is your maximum bid? And you stop there and you don't get yourself into trouble, because that's where a lot of people go wrong.
Well, why do you think they hold auctions?
Exactly.
Because of the emotion. But if you look next door, you can see we've got a pretty nice looking house there. Pretty nice looking homes all in this area. So I think there is a lot of possibility here.
So, Larry, you did an analysis in this area about what this would rent out for?
Yeah, I have a worksheet, and
Okay.
and we filled that out and came out with that. I looked at 3 different places. I looked at Rentometer, $950. Looked at Zillow, $893 as a monthly rent. Craigslist said $875.
So let's just take $875.
Yeah, so
and you annualize that. It's almost 10 grand. You got a minimum bid here of 15. You think you can get away with putting 25 into it. So that gets you up to 40 grand.
Right, real off the top cuff, I think 25 will turn it into a nice house.
So you've got a 4 to 5 year payoff period in total, which is great.
Better than the bank.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the online auctions. How do you decide, with no physical visit to a home, just looking at pictures online, if it's worth it, if it's worth the investment?
It's a question. It's a good question and a misconception. You must always go and physically look at the property that you're going to bid on. I've made the mistake of not doing that, and you'll find often that the online information is just totally wrong. Surprising, but it's just completely inaccurate. But by going to look, you get the truth. I've seen really nice pictures of nice looking homes. When I got there, they were burned down.
Wow.
So that's how you get current information.
How many homes do you have to visit to get one?
Well, it can be a fair amount of work there. I can look at hundreds of homes. Hundreds of homes actually wind up with something that I buy.
So to reiterate, this isn't an easy thing. However, it could be a very profitable career move if you put the time and effort in, correct?
I think whether full-time or part-time, whatever fits in your time frame. There really is no other way of doing it that I have heard of that's solid. I've heard some gurus talk about other techniques, but I found that this works, and doing the math correctly allows you to purchase places at good prices.
Great. So this method is in the video, once again, available on larryweingarten.com. Tax deed deals, this is what we're talking about. So you're probably not always going to walk into that perfect, beautiful valley view home with not a lot of repairs needed. So what determines for you a scary home? Because in the video, Tax Deed Deals, we see some pretty beat up homes. I mean, boarded up, graffitied, trashed to the max, walls kicked in, toilets in the living room, this and that. And these are homes that most people are like, no thank you, running far, far away, and you are running to them. Tell us about that.
Coming from the contractor's perspective, I try to look at the bones of a house. When I'm outside, I look at how even is the roof line? Do the eaves sag? Is there visible rot? Is the stucco cracked? How sturdy is the house? Does the foundation look good? Is there settling? If the bones are good, the rest is easy to fix. Graffiti is 3 coats of paint and it's gone. And if that's all, you have a great coat of stucco and it's graffitied, paint gets rid of that, it's a simple fix. That sort of cosmetic stuff isn't a concern to me.
So none of that scares you at all?
Well, it scares me only if I do my research and find out that the neighborhood is a war zone. So, that's an indicator.
And that goes into the research.
But if it's one bad house on an otherwise nice block, let's fix it.
Great. So tell us then, what are the benefits then of seeing a home like that and going ahead, if you do get it, fixing it up?
Well, in that neighborhood of the one bad home on an otherwise nice block, the neighbors are thrilled.
Love you.
They always come over and want to shake my hand.
Cookies,
and say
cakes,
thank you
lasagna.
for getting rid of the bad guys and making this a nice home. I get to employ a number of people so that there's work. Work has been scarce for a lot of contractor and tradespeople. They like this. Done right, I actually get to make some money too.
When you're repairing homes and renovating them, do you always do it with an eye for making them more energy efficient?
Yes. It just pays. If you make something more energy efficient, it doesn't matter what the end use is going to be. If I'm going to be a landlord and rent it out, I'm renting out a better home. I can actually charge more rent for that. So instead of the money going to the utility company, I get to keep some. If I'm fixing it up, maybe someone's going to buy one of these to live in it themselves. Well, of course it makes sense to make it more efficient.
And by doing that, does it always have to be modern, or are you also keeping some of that time period structure to it and the style?
I like to maintain homes in the style in which they were built. They generally flow better, traffic is better through them, they fit their neighborhood better. I'd prefer to put things back into their original shape and time period.
That's wonderful. That's very special. Okay, so just to wrap up, Larry, why should people go out and get this video right now?
Okay, well, I've been involved in real estate. I was a landlord when I was 25. I've been involved in it for a long time, and I've never found any other approach to purchasing real estate that comes close to what I can manage to do with tax deeds. So that's the reason that it makes sense to be looking there, and we're trying to give you good information that you can go use right now that has sufficient detail in it so you can make use of it. So many of the gurus teach high-flying ideals, but only a very small percentage of the people wind up being able to use that to their benefit. If you're an investor, you can use it as a tool to make money. If you're someone that wants to find a home for yourself, this is a way of finding homes for far less money than you're going to experience most any other way.
Well, I think that you're a pretty nice guy to share this information.
Thank you.
You can get his video today at larryweingarten.com. Thank you so much for watching and joining us.